At 2:47 a.m. local time, Sudzha, Kursk Oblast, Russia, 8 miles from the Ukrainian border. Sergei Volkov stares at his console and sees perfection. Pressure, 75 bar. Flow rate, 78.6 million cubic meters per day. Temperature, stable. 11 years he's been doing this, monitoring the Urnoi-Pomory-Uzhgorod pipeline, the steel artery pumping Siberian gas into Europe's heart. 11 years of nothing happening. His phone buzzes. A text from his daughter. "Papa, when are you coming home? Masha misses you." She's 4. She draws pictures of him as a superhero guarding magical glowing screens. He promised her chocolates after this shift. 4 more hours. Just 4. What Sergei doesn't know is that 14 miles away, a 3-pound warhead is racing toward his pipeline at 65-90 kilometers. And when it hits, the explosion won't just destroy steel. It will shatter alliances, collapse economies, and force 2 countries to choose between freezing in the dark or abandoning Moscow forever. 8 weeks earlier, Kyiv, Ukrainian Military Intelligence, HUR headquarters. Major Andriy Koval hunches over satellite imagery like a predator studying prey. He's 34, former signals officer, 3 years spent mapping Russian infrastructure. Now he's hunting for the perfect kill shot. Something that bleeds Russia where it hurts most: money. The Urnoi-Pomory-Uzhgorod pipeline, 56 inches in diameter, 28 billion cubic meters annually, 11 billion in revenue. More importantly, it's the lifeline keeping Hungary and Slovakia warm while they cuddle up to Putin. Here, Koval taps the screen. 800 meters east of Sudzha metering station, above ground crossing, no bunker, no armor, just bare steel and Russian arrogance. His deputy Lesya frowns. That's 18 miles inside Russia. How? Very carefully, Koval allows himself a grim smile, and with the right pilot. They spend 6 weeks building the operation. U.S. satellites map patrol routes. Partisans scout access roads. Cyber teams clone vehicle plates and facility credentials. Every detail memorized, war-gamed, perfected. The operator they find is call sign Cicada, age 28. Former videographer, 89 combat missions flown, never panicked, never quit. Koval brings him into a secure room, shows him the target. "Can you hit this?" Cicada studies the imagery in silence. When he finally speaks, his voice is flat. "I can hit it. Coming home is another question." Koval nods slowly. "That's why you're the one." Cicada thinks about his sister in Mariupol. She didn't make it out before the siege. He hasn't said her name in 2 years. "When do we go?" he asks. 2:05 a.m., 18 miles inside Russia. Cicada sits in a battered Lada panel van, FPV goggles on his head, controller in his hands. The van reeks of diesel and sweat. His partner Vovk, a 45-year-old former trucker, sits motionless in the driver's seat. They've been waiting in silence for 90 minutes. Cicada's hands aren't shaking. He expected fear. Instead, there's just cold clarity, a sense he's exactly where he's supposed to be. "This is for Mariupol." His earpiece crackles. "Kaban Actual, you are cleared for Phase 1. Initiating decoys. 40 miles northwest, 3 cheap drones launch into the darkness. Within minutes, Russian air defenses light up, swatting them down with missiles that cost more than luxury cars. The distraction works perfectly. Every Russian eye is looking the wrong direction. 2:23 a.m. Launch. The van's rear doors open silently. The Arabov drone slides out and lifts into darkness with barely a whisper. Cicada pushes the stick forward. The drone accelerates, its fiber optic cable unspooling like a spider's thread. 14 miles. Every farmhouse a potential spotter, every road a patrol route. But the drone is invisible to radar, unjammable, flying so low it's practically kissing the grass. Then, his screen lights up with a new contact. Orlan 10 reconnaissance drone, thermal cameras active, flying a search pattern directly across his path. Cicada doesn't hesitate. He dives to 30 feet, a suicidal altitude where one mistake means death. The ground blurs past in shades of gray. The Orlan passes overhead, scanning methodically. Cicada spots a highway overpass ahead. He steers underneath, flying blind for 5 heartbeats in total darkness, trusting the AI. The drone emerges on the other side, still alive. In the driver's seat, Vovk exhales slowly. "You're completely insane." "Probably." Cicada's voice is steady. 2:39 a.m. The approach. The drone enters Sudzha's perimeter. Cameras, patrols, motion sensors. But Ukrainian intelligence mapped every blind spot. Cicada flies low along a drainage ditch, the drone's wingtips nearly brushing mud walls. On his screen, the metering station glowing with heat. But that's not his target. Then, headlights. A patrol truck sweeping directly across his path. Cicada yanks the drone into the ditch, flying through the trench. The truck passes overhead, oblivious. His earpiece crackles. Russian QRF launching. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Enough. He pushes forward. 2:44 a.m. Final approach. Through the thermal camera, Cicada sees it, the pipeline. A 56-inch steel giant glowing faintly, elevated on concrete supports. Between him and target, 400 meters of open ground, a kill zone. He slams the throttle to maximum. The drone screams across the field at 70 millimeters. At the metering station, a guard sees something on his monitor, a blur, moving fast. He grabs his radio. Possible UAV. Too late. 300 meters, 200 meters. Cicada's world shrinks to the targeting reticle. 100 meters, he whispers, from Mariupol. 2:47 a.m. Impact. The drone slams into the pipeline. The shaped charge detonates, punches through steel like paper. Natural gas erupts at 100 psi. A roaring geyser shooting 150 feet into the air. The shaped charge's heat ignites it. The fireball is visible from space, a 400-foot tower of flame turning night into day. Steel supports melt. A 50-meter section collapses, splits open, buckles. The metering station. Sergei Volkov stares at his console as every gauge drops to 0 simultaneously. For 3 seconds, his brain refuses to process it. This can't be happening, not on his watch. Then, reality hits like ice water. He's not looking at a malfunction. He's looking at an attack on Russian soil, on his pipeline. The pipeline Moscow swore was untouchable. His hands tremble as he reaches for the emergency phone. His supervisor answers on the first ring. Volkov, what? The main line is gone. His voice cracks. Complete rupture. Fireball visible for kilometers. He stops, swallows hard. Sir, we've lost the pipeline. Silence on the other end. Then, how? Volkov looks at his screens showing nothing but zeros. I don't know, but someone just hit us where it hurts most. He thinks about his daughter, about the chocolates he promised, about how he's going to explain this to anyone, about how Russia just lost billions in a single heartbeat. The escape. In the van, Cicada rips off his goggles. Through the trees, the sky glows orange. Vovk is already driving, headlights off, tearing through forest on night vision. Behind them, Russian helicopters scramble, but every asset is converging on the fireball, trying to contain hell itself. By 3:15 a.m., they cross into Ukrainian territory. Mission cost $15,000. Mission damage $88 billion and counting. Day 1, Budapest, Hungary. Viktor Orban wakes to a nightmare. The phone call comes at 6 a.m. Sudzha pipeline destroyed. Hungary's gas supply just evaporated. For years, Orban built his brand on cheap Russian gas and Brussels' defiance. He blocked sanctions. He praised Putin. He told Hungarians they could chart their own course. Now, factories are shutting down, gas reserves draining, winter approaching. His phone explodes with notifications, opposition memes flooding social media. Orban's Russian friends left us in the cold. His approval rating collapses in real time. By noon, his chief of staff delivers the brutal truth. Prime Minister, we have 48 hours of reserves. After that, we freeze. Orban stares at the wall. Decades of political positioning destroyed overnight. He has 2 choices, freeze in the dark or crawl to Brussels. There is no third option. The call. That evening, Orban dials Brussels. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen answers immediately. She's been expecting this. Victor. Her voice is cold, professional. I assume you're calling about gas. Orban closes his eyes. This is the conversation he swore he'd never have. Hungary needs emergency access to EU reserves. Of course, a pause. And in return, what do you want? His voice is barely controlled. Support for the next Ukraine aid package, full alignment on Russian sanctions, no more vetoes, no more obstruction. She lets that hang. Or you explain to your people why they're freezing while the rest of Europe stays warm. Orban's jaw clenches. He sees his political career evaporating, his legacy crumbling. But he sees something else too. Riots in Budapest, factories closed, his government toppled. Agreed, he says through gritted teeth. Von der Leyen's response is immediate. Welcome back to Europe, Victor. Emergency supplies will begin flowing within 24 hours. The line goes dead. Orban sits in silence, staring at his phone. Putin's gas just cost him everything. Slovakia's Robert Fico faces the same nightmare within hours. Both countries publicly announced support for Ukraine within 48 hours. Russia's last EU allies just switched sides. Week 2. Moscow. The Kremlin war room is silent as Putin's inner circle reviews the damage. 5.4 billion in lost revenue over 6 months of repairs. Hungary and Slovakia flip to the EU. Russia's diplomatic isolation complete. Gazprom stock down 35%. Foreign investors fleeing. Insurance premiums skyrocketing. Strategic leverage destroyed. The gas weapon Putin wielded for 2 years just exploded in his face. One general finally speaks. Sir, a 15,000 drone just delivered a strategic defeat that will echo for years. Putin says nothing. His silence is answer enough. Epilogue. Kyiv. Major Koval sits in his windowless office, reading after-action reports. The operation succeeded beyond projections, not just in damage, in geopolitical realignment. Hungary and Slovakia now aligned with the EU. NATO unity strengthened, aid packages accelerated. 1 van, 2 operators, 1 fiber optic drone. Return on investment, 900,000 to 1. Somewhere in Ukraine, Sikita is already training for the next mission. There are more pipelines, more targets, more weak points in Russia's armor. The war continues, but the balance just shifted. Russia learned you can't protect 4,500 kilometers of pipeline from an enemy willing to think asymmetrically. Europe learned dependency on Russian energy is a noose. Ukraine just cut it. Lights out, Moscow. What should history call this? Operation Gaslight? The Sudzha surprise? Drop your name below.